Oh yeah, let's get brewing. Alrighty, so we're going deep into the collection today. We need some coffee. How you doing, buddy? Good morning. Alright, yeah, we're gonna go check out the collection. Do a deep vault dive. You wanna help, huh? You wanna help? Got a lot of TV show DVDs, live music DVDs, albums on CD, record, cassette. We're gonna be going through a lot of stuff here in my personal collection and vault. Quite a bit to go over here. Figured it'd be cool on a very chilly winter day to take a look at the collections, things I've amassed over the years. A lot to check out. Let's get to it. Still early morning. Gemma's got back into bed. Got some autographs here. Figured I should show. This is signed by Lita back in 2002. The greatest female wrestlers of all time. Check this out. Rest in peace, John Dunsworth. There's autograph from Mr. Leahy and Randy. Put Frigg off. Leahy wrote, "Johnny is the king of Shitville." Pretty cool. I was going to miss Mr. Leahy. Him and Randy put on an awesome show. It was cool to hang out with them after. Get some pictures and autographs with them. This is me meeting Black Sabbath in 2008. That's me with Ronnie James Dio. Rest in peace to him. I have an autograph of his I'll pull out later as well. There's Geezer Butler and Tony Iommi, original Black Sabbath musicians. I have a ton of backstage laminates from my history, but this one from Black Sabbath, the day I got to meet and hang out with Ronnie James Dio, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler. I got Ronnie James Dio's signature right here on this backstage pass. Rest in peace, the late, great Ronnie James Dio. And here's the original Black Sabbath album signed by Geezer Butler and Tony Iommi, the guitarist and bassist. Vinny Appice also signed it, but he was not the original drummer on the album. But look at that. Tony Iommi's signature. Geezer Butler twice. The original Black Sabbath record. And what has to be my absolute most prized possession, this Undertaker book here, because of what's inside. Here's a photo of me, Mark Calloway, the one and only Undertaker. Right here. That was in Niagara Falls, actually. The size of me compared to the 6'10", 300-pound Undertaker. And he signed the book right here. Look at that. Needless to say, this book and autograph remain in plastic. Speaking of The Undertaker, my favorite wrestler of all time. Always a huge wrestling fan, so I have my army of Undertakers from every era of the dead man. From his debut in 1990 when he was about 25, he got 92 to 94, 94 to 96, towards the end of 96 when he was buried alive. Even has the face adhesion. He broke a few bones in his face. 1998, Ministry of Darkness, 99. We got him riding in on the motorcycle as the American Badass. And his attire from WrestleMania 30, 2014, the day the music died and his WrestleMania streak ended. And more recent years. I like this jacket here. This is pretty cool. It's the most recent dead man figure I acquired. These actually take quite a while to set up. And down here I got some stuff. There's another Undertaker here. We got Sting. We got Bret Hart over here. Jeff Hardy, another one of my favorites. We have Chong in there. He's appeared in an episode before. Got my Wayne's World mug that I got from Ed Castle from the music store that you see right there, Kessel's Music in California. He's very happy with my Wayne's World locations. Go back, check those out. I was given that mug. This one I got from doing the Good Burger location and interviewing Pete from Peter's El Loco. Peter's a good guy. Go back, check out that Good Burger video. He gave us that. This is actually sand in this bottle that I took out of my shoes from a couple years ago. The first time I was ever in Santa Monica. So got another autograph from Lita. Actually, I got an extra one. I think my mom actually got her to sign that. So that's a framed autograph from the one and only Lita. An autograph here from Al's guitarist, postcard he sent me, Jim Chemo West. And interesting story behind this piece of guitar. It's actually signed by Weird Al's bass player, but I'll explain that. This live DVD here from 2011 was 2 shows that Weird Al and his band played in Toronto. I was personally invited to these shows. You could see me headbanging, swirling my long hair around during a performance of You Make Me from his 1988 album. When he played the song You Don't Love Me Anymore, and Al smashed the acoustic guitar at the end, a piece of it rolled under Steve's bass cab. And this is actually the piece right here that went under his bass cab, so he just gave out the pieces backstage after the show. Steve signed it himself, even though he was not holding the guitar. Al doesn't play the guitar either, he just smashes it. Jim is the only guitar player in Weird Al. But that's pretty cool, because you see in the DVD when he smashes it at the end of You Don't Love Me Anymore, you see this roll, or slide right under the bass cab. So we'll go through some of the movies and stuff. I'm pretty much a DVD collector. I do have some VHS, a lot in the attic. I will show some anyways, but DVD, never really went over to Blu-ray. Got way more down here. We're going to check out a bunch. Got some Californication up here. I love that show. Some King of Queens, the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies, which I am a big fan of. You got Beavis and Butthead up here. A few Iron Maiden albums here. It's the Beavis and Butthead Do America soundtrack. This is a good one. It's got some really good songs on it, actually. Love Roller Coaster. Chef from, Isaac Hayes, who played Chef in South Park. Did the Beavis and Butthead theme song. Also a wicked song from Rancid. I'm going to be seeing with Green Day later in the year. I Want to Riot. I hope they play that. And a few Iron Maiden albums. They're just sitting here loosely. Oh yeah. Of course, got my Weird Al mug. That was from a 2015 meeting on the Mandatory Fun Tour. No Al and the guys from way back. So, plenty of Weird Al autographs and artifacts going to show you. Just going to go through some of the movies in the collection. This is in no specific order. Actually, from here to here is all Adam Sandler, all the way to here. So, used to collect all his DVDs. I like most of his movies, obviously the oldest stuff being the best. Nobody likes Going Overboard. I'm a really big fan of Shakes the Clown. Coneheads, obviously Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Bulletproof, Dirty Work, which I've covered the locations for. I've covered the locations for Billy Madison and The Wedding Singer. Go back, check out those videos. I got lots of my other favorites in here. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, which I recently did the filming locations for. Wayne's World, go check out the filming locations for that. Showed you the mug I was gifted from the music store. Kingpin, one of my favorite movies of all time. I'm the only one who's ever done the locations for Detroit Rock City. Check those out. Beavis and Butthead Do America. My Cousin Vinny, that would be fun. Also the only one who's done the locations for Half Baked. Go back, check out the Half Baked locations. Just check out the filming locations playlist. One of 2 to do A Night at the Roxbury. Orange County. We got the original Vacation and the Vacation remake. Scarface. You can't see it, but that's Scarface at the end right there. Got all my stoner movies. I guess I'm vastly becoming the only one that does all of the stoner movies. So, Grandma's Boy is in the running. Got Joe Dirt. Not everybody likes Joe Dirt. I love Joe Dirt. One of the few people to have done Jumanji locations. Have done all that. Love all these movies. Zach and Miri Make a Porno fanboys. Got the Trey Parker, Matt Stone collection here. Basketball, Orgasmo, Team America, South Park. Basketball is awesome. Tommy Boy, Black Sheep. Rest in peace, Chris Farley. It's a heck of a duo right there. Love those guys together. Beverly Hills Ninja. I was actually watching that last night. Absolutely hilarious. Dumb and Dumber, Dumb and Dumber 2, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Trailer Park Boys movies, Tenacious D. Love the Tenacious D movie. What's Eating Gilbert Grape? Greatest film of all time. Terminator 2. Terminator as well. Heavyweights. Good Burger. The Back to the Future trilogy. Essential. The bottom compartment, we got the horror section. I'm going to need this flashlight. We need a flashlight to check out the horror section. Check it out. This is an original Nightmare on Elm Street VHS box set. Also got VHS's versions of Halloween 4 and 5, which I also have on DVD in there. I have all the Halloweens as well on VHS, however, they're up in the attic. So they're pulled out because some of these I don't. My Elm Street DVD box set only goes to 4. So when I want to watch Freddy's Dead or Wes Craven's New Nightmare, I gotta pull this puppy out. Yeah, I was gifted this on Christmas when I was 12. Used to rent these movies all the time, go down to the movie store. Always renting every Elm Street film. 5 being the only one I do not like, even though I love the cover on here. These are the original covers. These deadly films on the side, which I like. The original Part 3 cover, however, because it's a box that these are alternate VHS covers. I like number 4. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And the box set itself, actually, Freddy's Dead's one of my favorite, actually. Tom Arnold, Roseanne. Great film. Like the images. Very cool. Yeah. Would never get rid of that. There's a lot of stuff down here. Got just endless amount of DVDs. Don't really buy them anymore, but up here we got like the entire Edward Norton collection because I really love his movies. Fight Club, People vs. Larry Flint, Primal Fear, Leaves of Grass, Pride and Glory, 25th Hour, Painted Veil. Down in the Valley is a good one. Stone, American History X, of course. And then the rest of the horror section over here, Scream, Saw movies, Universal Classic Monsters. Let's pull that out. Got the classic Universal Monsters box set here. Classic Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman. Of course, all of the Leprechauns, well, 1 to 4. All of the Halloweens. The exception of 3. I guess I should own 3. I don't, but Beetlejuice, we got the Chucky collection, and Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. It's my Friday the 13th box set. It's pretty cool too. It's got, well, first original 8 films in here with all facts. Lists every kill. Has the original poster covers. So always pull that out. Friday the 13th. I was actually watching Part 5 last night. Ernest Scared Stupid, obviously essential. Got the Star Wars collection in here, all kinds of stuff. School of Rock, Office Space, Cheech and Chong movies, obviously Up in Smoke, and Next Movie being my favorite. Fubar, Old School, Death to Smoochie, that's another Edward Norton one with, I love Death to Smoochie. Edward Norton and Robin Williams. Okay, and here you got all the American Pie movies. Ones you gotta have, Edward Scissorhands, Forrest Gump. Always gotta have these in the vault somewhere. The original Mr. Bean movie. There's Nerd Locations movie right there. Nito Mosquito, that green one. The Austin Powers movies, Toy Story, Pineapple Express, The Page Master with Macaulay Culkin, classic. Hangover trilogy. Obviously over here, you got all the Christmas movies. They're tucked away. Got all the essentials. The Mighty Ducks trilogy. This is Spinal Tap. Oh yeah. Quite the vault of movies, and we're not done. A couple more Undertaker DVDs here. I've got everything released on the Undertaker Deadliest Match compilation. Huge Curb Your Enthusiasm fan. Just got some classic Royal Rumbles on here. It is Royal Rumble season. 23rd season of South Park. It's got my all the Royal Rumble classics here. I was watching Blair Witch on VHS. Do have a working VHS player, and couldn't find this available to stream on DVD. So it's on DVD. It's good that I still have the VHS. It's very enjoyable to watch that. Obviously, one of the best movies of all time, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, stays on deck because I watch it probably like once a week. I throw that on when I don't know what else to put on. So Airheads here. So back to this wall of DVDs and CDs. A lot of albums. I used to be a touring musician, so I used to collect everything. We got everything by Slayer and Megadeth, Black Sabbath and Ozzy, the Motorhead. Pretty much each of these boxes is its own band's compartment. This is the Motorhead compartment. Well, down here we got some DRI, Iron Maiden, Exciter. I will show some autographed albums, autographs in my collection. This got all the Corpse albums, Metallica. It's the entire South Park series. And I'm talking seasons 1 to 23. 1 to 23. This is all live music DVDs for the South Park seasons start. My name is Earl. I have all the Curb Your Enthusiasm DVDs. All the Trailer Park Boys, even though they all stream on Netflix. I was always a huge Trailer Park Boys fan since it only, even from way back when it only aired in Canada. The AC/DC compartment, the Weird Al compartment, Green Day, Blind Guardian. This is all more or less classic rock stuff. All the original Kiss albums, Lynyrd Skynyrd. This is all like death metal and thrash metal. The entire Curb Your Enthusiasm series. Sorry, it's getting a little dark here. I'm going to just pull out some of the autographed albums and more or less prized possessions of mine. Got all the Seinfeld DVDs. Weeds, was a big fan of that show. Oz, got every season of Oz, another awesome HBO classic. And The Sopranos, that 70s show. Wow, will you look at all this junk. All right, well, I'm finishing my coffee. You're going to go over through some of my prized, signed albums and stuff here. Start with Weird Al ones. Check this out. This is one of his best-selling records, Running with Scissors, signed by him and the entire band. Jim West, the guitarist, John Bermuda Schwartz, the drummer, Al himself, and Steve J, the bassist. Classic UHF, signed by the band. This one came out the year I was born, 88. Even worse. So on my 27th birthday, which is Al's lucky number, he signed the inside by his 1988 photo there. That's right, in 3D. Classic Weird Al album. Seen most of these songs live, as I've seen them about 20-some times. This one's really cool because this is the first ever Weird Al record, and I loved the cover of it so much. 1983, I didn't want them to sign on the cover, but right on the tour bus, they gave me their nicest signatures. Right on the bus. Oh yeah, 1983. Do have some vinyl here. My vintage vinyl player. Actually, I don't know if it's vintage, but got, most of the 80s Weird Al records here. I want to take this one out, show you. It's the only record I have signed by the band. So I have a Sacrifice record here, signed by the singer Rob. Sacrifice, the deadliest Canadian band of all time. Forward determination. If you like death metal, check out Sacrifice. So Al's breakthrough record from 1985, Dare to Be Stupid, used to be my favorite, though it's impossible to pick a favorite from the longest standing band of all time. The rare inside band photo, only available in the vinyl version of this album. Only one that's got every band member, all four of them, to sign that original band photo. Wow, they're so young there. Jim, Steve, Al, Bermuda. Yep. Not a huge record collection, as I was clearly more into CDs. But yeah, that Sacrifice record. I got some old ones here. American Graffiti. That was actually my mom's. Got Kiss Destroyer. The first AC/DC record, High Voltage. For those about to rock, of course. Black Sabbath, Paranoid. If you're a fan of Sons of Anarchy, not one of my absolute favorite shows, but this was signed by some of my favorite actors and characters from the show. You got Kim Coates, Canadian. Kim Coates, Canadian-born, who played Tig, my favorite character on the show. This is the first season. It's also signed by Tommy Flanagan, who played Chips, and the legendary Mark Boone Jr., who played Bobby, who you know from tons of other movies. Chips actually signed this twice, met him a couple times. So, a couple other legendary thrash metal records. The very first Destruction album. Huge Destruction fan, German thrash, 80s legends, signed by the singer Schmier and guitarist Mike, the two original guys. Usually a three-piece band. Also got Creator, Pleasure to Kill, one of the most legendary German thrash metal albums ever, signed by Mealy, the vocalist, guitarist, and Ventor. Badass drummer, Ventor. Okay, for all you metalheads, I'm going to show some of my signed metal albums. These are all legendary metal bands. Obviously, everybody knows Cannibal Corpse, signed by Corpse Grinder, original drummer Paul Mazurkiewicz, and Alex Webster, leader, bass player, one of the greatest death metal bassists of all time. Career-spanning DVD. Pretty cool. Speaking of original Cannibal Corpse members, one that's not on that DVD from the original Cannibal Corpse Eaten Back to Life record, Jack Owen, the original guitarist who now plays for Deicide, signed this when we sold him some weed back in like 2012 in Montreal. Had this in the car. I'm like, oh, dude, you want to sign the original Corpse album? No, you don't play for them anymore, but he's like, hell yeah. Butchered at Birth, original Butchered at Birth, Cannibal Corpse's second album, Jim Carrey's favorite. You know, Cher actually took this album cover. Her son, who I believe is handicapped, his favorite band is Cannibal Corpse, and she hired them to play at his birthday. And she wanted this album cover, Butchered at Birth, done on a cake. And the people refused Cher at the bakery. They refused to make a Cannibal Corpse Butchered at Birth cake for Cher. I mean, it's Cher. Hey, so for you black metal fans, check this out. Signed by all original members of Immortal. Abath, Horg, the drummer, look at Horg's autographs, put an upside down cross on the second H, and Demonaz. Doesn't even play for the band, but I caught him backstage. That At the Heart of Winter. Nobody knows what it's like being at the heart of winter. More than Norwegians and Canadians. One of my favorite Immortal records. Amazing time seeing them live. Check this out. The greatest DRI album. Sorry for the reflection. These are CDs. Kurt Brett and Spike Cassidy, original DRI members. So I'm dealing with it record. This one's a seriously prized possession because one of the members is now dead. This is the last record by Bolt Thrower. When I hung out with them in Baltimore, Maryland, every member signed right on the disc, because I had the disc in my pocket. Even the producer, Carl Letts, the vocalist, Joe Bench, greatest female bass player of all time, Gavin Ward, and that is Marty, rest in peace, Marty Kearns' autograph right there. Martin Kitty Kearns. Hung around with him a lot that weekend, and God rest his soul. As you know from the hat I always wear, Blind Guardian is my favorite metal band, and this is one of their legendary records, Imaginations from the Other Side. Saw them play this entire album in London one night, and after the show, the original three guys, Hansi Kirsch, Andre Olabrich, and Marcus Siepen, all signed the interior of the album for me. Oh yeah. Back to the death metal. If you like Possessed, or you're a Primus fan, and you like Larry Lalonde, Possessed was his first band. This is signed by Jeff Becerra. To Johnny, great to meet you, Jeff Becerra. Would have gotten him to sign, that's Jeff right there, Larry Lalonde there to the right, who now plays in Primus. Would have gotten him to sign the Seven Churches, the first album, but it's all black, so Here's a first Atheist record signed by Kelly Schaefer himself and Steve Flynn. That's Steve Flynn. That's Kelly Schaefer there. So sign that for me in Maryland. Tony Choi, one of the best bass players ever. Exciter, Ottawa's greatest band ever come out of Ottawa. First 3 records, Exciter, and the legend himself lives here in Ottawa, John Ricci. Signed that. Even Metallica has credited this guy as being the inventor of the speed riff. Speed metal, enslaved below the lights. I know, Gemma, it's a big collection. We still got more to work through. We're getting there. And then we'll go for a walk. And we got these drawers full of stuff. So these are all mixed celebration events from WWE. Everything. History of the Hardcore Championship, Hell in a Cells, Super Showdowns, stuff in there. Down here we got the entire SummerSlam collection. So this is the SummerSlam compartment. A little cooler every SummerSlam. A whole drawer dedicated to SummerSlam. This was the Royal Rumble and Survivor Series drawer. So here's all the Survivor Series events from WWE. The Royal Rumbles are over there by the TV. It is Rumble season. We're down in here. Here we have the entire 007 collection. Every single James Bond film that's ever been released, right up to the most recent, No Time to Die. Every single film, including, of course, mine and most people's favorite, GoldenEye, Brosnan, but every single one is in this compartment. Diamonds Are Forever. Man with the Golden Gun. Dr. No, Skyfall. They're all in here. Yeah. You could say I'm pretty much a psycho. Or I used to be a psycho as far as my DVD collecting. Never wanted to be bored. Going down the line here. Okay, so the ultimate WrestleMania collection. This compartment here is just all the later WrestleManias, probably from about WrestleMania 23 onward. There's 31. I've shown these before, but this whole compartment is stacked. Every single WrestleMania. These are all like 8-hour events. And the original WrestleMania box set is down here. So that would be WrestleMania 1985 to 2006. So WrestleMania 1 to 22. And I've got some Hell in a Cell box set here. And a few more Undertaker DVDs. As I said, I have all those. So the Last Ride box set. And there's all his WrestleMania matches in one DVD collection. I think I had that before I owned all of the WrestleManias. Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy DVD. This here is my vintage Green Day cassette box set. This is awesome. And this has every single Green Day album up to Revolution Radio on cassette. This is pretty wicked. Check this out, even from the first record. Isn't that cute? Little cassette. 39 Smooth. That's just the original 10-track album. Awesome. Everything. I love the older records the best, as everybody does, but this has everything. Even albums that weren't released on cassette, like American Idiot. Look at this cute little Dookie tape. I've got Dookie on everything. Obviously CD. I've got a giant poster right here. I'm going to go see them play the entire album for the 30th anniversary, where they're going to play all of Dookie for its 30th anniversary, plus all of American Idiot for its 20th anniversary, and new songs and other hits. It's supposed to be a 3-hour set just from Green Day. We'll also include the Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid. Ooh. Nimrod. Yeah. Definitely an old school Green Day fan. Love all of their stuff. Opening up the cassette vault now. Got some interesting cassettes. Tons of cassettes. I've had these since I was a kid. Got some ultra rarities. Check this one. You ever heard of the band Grim Reaper? This is signed by original member Steve Grimmett, original singer. And it was only 2 months after he signed this and another CD I have that he died. So I got him aside this vintage Rock You to Hell tape. Love this record. Great artwork. Sign that for me. And yes, they definitely played Suck It and See. Rush. Got my old school Wayne's World cassette here. Again, go back, check out the filming locations for that. Sabotage, Guns N' Roses. We got the first ever Tragically Hip album here. Rest in peace, Gord Downey. All right, some really prized possessions here. Check this out. The first ever DRI album on cassette signed by Kurt and Spike, the two original members. That's the singer and guitarist. Yeah, that is pretty awesome. And also, original Weird Al Off the Deep End cassette signed by Al and the whole band. This is the first thing I ever had Weird Al and the guys signed for me. They sending out those mugs to the people who asked for them. And once I get another run made, I'm going to send those out for free. We'll include some random stickers with your mug as well. So if anybody else wants mugs or any type of merch, message me on Instagram or leave a comment, and then I will know. Here's that other album, too, that Steve Grimmett signed, Grim Reaper, the See You in Hell album. Rest in peace to Steve Grimmett. Can't believe that. Just 2 months after he signed that, he got a flesh-eating kind of virus thing, and it removed his leg, and then he passed away soon after that. So, the original members of the band Autopsy, Chris Rayford, who also played drums on the very first Death record. Danny Corrales, this was their other band, Abscess. This is Urine Junkies, a year before they got Autopsy back together. They signed that for me. Also, Clint Bauer, Urine Junkies. Here's a deadly-ass band, Crisian. Crisian, they're so heavy. They signed this for me. One of the first death metal shows I ever went to, probably way back in high school. Yeah, those guys are pretty brutal. The original Destroyer 666 album, signed by Keith Warslut himself, and Shrapnel. Heck yeah. Man, that's a rarity. Tons of albums. Don't even have time to show you every single little one. You'll probably tune out of the video before I got to that. Tons of albums, tons of collections. More autographs I don't even have time to find or show. Had to pull that one out, though. Destroyer 666. Oh, they're great albums. Demolition Hammer. I've got some deadly albums in here. Repulsion. So I met the singer of that band, Scott Carlson. Obituary. Slowly we rot. Obviously, do not have time to go through every single movie that I'd like to talk about or band album. You know, I have a huge collection, so can't really... Oh, that's a good film. A Perfect World. Wow, I haven't watched that in a while. I'm gonna have to go. When you see ones like Dazed and Confused that I already showed earlier. Get the Die Hard films. Dirty Work. Go back, check out my Dirty Work locations that I did with Scott on tape. Classic Devil's Rejects. That would have been his Detroit Rock City. Wow. So this would be like a 2-hour episode if I was going to go through every single film that I love and talk about what I love more than the other. Ooh, Full Metal Jacket. That's due for reviewing as well. Wintertime. I'm not on the road. It's a good time to watch movies. Keep warm. Yeah, a lot of these ones are actually my brother's. Wow. Anything that catches your eye, mention it in the comments. What are your favorite movies? What have you not seen in the collection that perhaps Mr. Thrasha should have in the vault? Ooh, Total Recall. Obviously, like I said, would like to go through some of my favorite albums and stuff like that. Just won't have time to do that, but who knows what we'll get down to in the future. It's a big collection to go through every single album or TV show, DVD, or movie that I have. It'd be literally impossible because there's so much here. So, more to talk about in the future, but just wanted to run down some of my favorites. No, here's my album, actually. This was my metal band's album. This was my band, Ceremonial. Very black thrash metal. There's Mr. Thrasher right there. Oh, yeah. That's about going to do it today. Like I said, I could go on for hours about all this stuff, but to go over the Undertaker army, go through lots of DVDs in the collection and stuff like that. Please like, please subscribe. If you're new here, subscribe and I'll let you know when a new episode goes up. Never know what you may be missing here on the Mr. Thrasha Show. Today you got a peek into my personal collection and some items that mean a lot to me. So thanks again, everybody. Probably do another one of these in the future. Go back, check out older videos. Always something to see on the Mr. Thrasha Show. Really glad I did this, actually, because everything was just everywhere. The DVDs were just piled any which order as I've been studying them for locations and different things. So finally got all this sorted out and set up. Feels so much more spick and span in here. Go back, check out older videos, filming locations from many of these films. There's at least 50 locations on the playlist. Much more to come. We'll do another one of these collection vault dives in the future. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again. Please like, please subscribe. I'll let you know when a new episode goes up. Never know what you may be missing here on the Mr. Thrasha Show. All right. Sorry to keep you waiting. We'll head out. Please subscribe.